Right, so we're coming up to late October, just a week left before we hit November. Temperatures are still reasonably good, still a t-shirt day. It's not cold at all, a bit overcast and been raining, but not too bad. It's about 16-17 degrees. We had actually last couple of days some really nice sunshine and it felt like summer again. Nighttime temperatures have been in double figures the last few days as well, so that's pretty good for this time of year. But no, nevertheless, we've started moving some things about. I mean, I've got a lot of small potted palms. I thought, well, I've got a seating area here, so if you've got a sort of enclosed area or something that's not going to be used over winter, let's not waste the space. So I had an old bit of perspex on a wooden frame which I had from last year. So I thought, how can I use that? We've got it in there, like I say, just in the seating area here, which was obviously put the chairs and tables away for the winter now. So this is like a dead space. So let's make use of all the space we've got. So like I say, we've got a waterproof cover on that, which is clear. So we've got some pretty hardy palms in here, but just to keep them sort of dry and frost free over winter. And this is a little bit of a sun trap in here over the winter, and it's protected from the wind as well, obviously due to the enclosed nature of the area itself. And like I say, with the cover over, it's going to remain dry and hopefully not get frosted in there. So we've got some Trachycarpus fortunei, ones that I've grown from seed a few years back. Some of these are pure fortunei, some are crossed waggy. And we've also got some Phoenix dactylifera edible date palms, which I grew from seed a couple of years back, and they're starting to put on some size now. So we'll keep them on the dry side. And like I say, just frost free. It's just a sheltered area where it's going to get a bit of sun, but it's obviously still going to get cold. But the idea is to keep these, treat them mean, keep them keen. You know, you can baby plants too much, and then when that comes to, you know, selling them on or planting them out and then suddenly they die on you, well, you've got to get them used to, you know, especially if you're growing stuff from seed, it can be a lot more hardier if you don't mollycoddle them too much. You know, you've got to push them to their limits, if you like. And you know, you can kill plants with kindness. I mean, these are, especially the dactylifera, are a good option to bring indoors, and they'll grow quite happily indoors over winter. But I keep them on the cold side, keep them nice and hardy, and yeah, you'll just end up with a much hardier plant overall. So I've got one actually in my arid area, Phoenix dactylifera, which is about 5 years old, and that's been out for the last few winters, and that's doing really well. We've also got remaining filibusters, Washingtonia filibusters, which I grew from seed a couple of years back. So these are sort of the runts of the litter. I sold most of them this year, but a couple left. Not quite sure if I'm going to sell them next year or keep them for myself. They're really sort of a hardy option for if you want a Washingtonia. Right, so yeah, just a reminder not to waste any space in your garden. If you've got an area that's not being used, put it to use. Yeah, just a quick look at the Phoenix dactylifera we've got in the ground then, which, like I say, it's about 5 years old. Just over here, just to prove they do grow in the UK. I can step in here. So that is a Phoenix dactylifera grown from seed, I'm going to say 5 years ago. Put on some good growth this year, starting to kick in. So yeah, it is an raised area and it has got some overhead protection. But yeah, they do grow in the UK in the right conditions, and we are in part of the, or we are the driest part of the UK. Even in winter we do get obviously wet days like today, but in general we don't get sort of saturated, and particularly in my garden we've got sort of sandy soil, so it tends to drain pretty freely. So anyway, yeah, just a little look at what I'm doing with my potted palms. Like I say, these are all sort of hardy palms, but you know, when they're potted they're not quite as hardy. Obviously roots are exposed, so it's you know, possibly freezing through, so just give them that overhead protection, that give them a bit more of a fighting chance, and just yeah, should work all right. I've still got a bit of space under there, and obviously I've got quite a bit more space here if I want to do another shelter coming across this side maybe, and get some more sort of half hardy stroke tender plants. I've got a lot of potted cannas which I had to dig up, so I might just stick them in there over winter just to give them a little bit of protection. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.